Hello once again, Black Mirai, this time in Fen Yang, Tier 8 Premium Destroyer that I got out of a crate. It's a weird ship, for those of you who aren't familiar with it. She's got stock very low HE penetration. Decent fire rate, not the greatest, but decent fire rate or rate of fire I should say, and also decent rate of starting fires. But her penetration's really bad, so against only the most sort of lightly armored opponents is the HE particularly reliable to do direct damage. So as I think everybody who's got one of these has figured out, you gotta use the AP. I think some people go with IFHE to up her pen, in which case I read that it can be more competitive against up to same tier destroyers and such. I've got a different route. I've stuck Darong on this, the commander with the extra fire chance, and I've gone for a fire build, and then I use AP most of the time against enemy destroyers. Still somewhat limited, especially against higher tier destroyers, but against same tier and lower destroyers, the AP works fine. And then if I'm taking on something bigger where my AP is not going to really do much, I just use the HE to try to set as many fires as I can. Mostly doing okay with that tactic. We'll see if I decide to change that up. The other thing quirky about the ship, if you don't know it, is the deep water torpedoes, which unlike most of the other deep water torpedoes, don't hit cruisers, only battleships and CVs. That I have found to be an incredibly annoying limitation on this ship. Like right here, I can't launch torpedoes at that Fiji who's pushed a little too far forward, or maybe not too far, but he's gotten himself into a bit of a pickle. So instead I'm letting loose with my guns, and here you can see I'm trying to start a fire with my HE. He is broadside to me. I maybe could have used my AP, but I decided to go for the HE shots. Got some direct damage, no fire, so not the greatest thing, but anyways. And then here you'll see me using my AP. Get some HE hits. These do alright, and then I switch to the AP to try to counter this destroyer here. And anyways, like I said, the the deep water torps on this thing are limited. They have decent range, and of course they're effective against the ships they can hit. But it is kind of a pretty sucky limitation at times, where your torps can't hit destroyers, your torps can't hit cruisers, your HE kind of sucks. This ship is just weird. It's hard to play. But I actually have been finding that I've been having some fun in it, despite those limitations. So early in the game, I kind of focus on countering enemy DDs in the hopes that later on I can then free myself up to go hunt bigger ships to use my torps on. Of course, it always helps when you've got a cruiser helping to back you up, and in this case, that Surrey behind me. I've been trying to work with them to counter the destroyers on this side, and it ends up working pretty well. Yeah, so right here, we've kind of chased off their destroyers a bit. There's an enemy battleship pushing up into my torpedo range there, so I decide to kind of cruise over this way to get a shot out, get some torps off at them. I'm spotted, but I really want to get these torps off. Don't get too many opportunities in this thing to launch torps at the big ships, so I use my reload. I'm going to try to maximize my chance to make something out of that opportunity. Then I smoke up and go to work with the Surrey on this guy. And of course, dangerous to sit in my smoke, because of course he launched his torps at me. So we are moving on. The other destroyer came over, I think thinking they were going to try to help to take me out while I smoked. And kind of really aggressively comes at me. Got lucky here, or well, I don't know, lucky, but you can see one of my torps did hit that battleship in the middle. He was getting pounded anyways. My torps got there just in time to finish him off. And then this guy, I'm guessing he was trying to use his hydro to find me in my smoke, because he really kind of gets aggressive coming at my smoke, despite being spotted. But I had already moved off. Can't say I did that on purpose, but was lucky enough to have moved out of my smoke so he couldn't see me, even with his hydro. Again, that Surrey in the back, I think we did a pretty good job of working together there. 2 destroyers down, the Fiji's gone. I was at a Bayern, I think. I don't know, their battleship in the middle, gone. I think we lost the battleship on this side, but altogether very successful in the west. And you can see the team as a whole is doing fairly well. So it's kind of getting into mop-up time already. And yeah, so that was kind of a fun start to the game there. A lot of action. I was a little wishy-washy here. Didn't know what I wanted to do. Go right around the island to the outside, go left to the inside. Eventually decide to go inside. And then I couldn't make up my mind. Am I going after the Massachusetts or not? And then I did notice my teammate coming over from the center of the map, and I figured that he was probably going to set up to torp the mass, and so I kind of changed my mind, I think right around here somewhere, and decided to angle in instead and go for the other ship. And sure enough, you can see my teammate hammers that poor battleship. And I'm trying to use my engine boost to run down this battleship, get a little closer. Yeah, it's not easy to torp battleships or any kind of ships that are kind of running away from you. I figured, what the heck, I'm just going to launch them around here, and then I thought maybe I might use my guns a little, see if I can set them on fire. Just trying to get a little closer. I was going to hold my fire a little bit, but then I noticed him turning, so then I figured maybe take some shots at him with my guns, let him know I'm here, maybe scare him into turning again back into my torps. And then he kind of does turn back into my torps anyway, so I hold my fire again. Managed to get another hit. Doesn't quite finish him off. So I decide to see if I can get a little damage or start a fire or something with my HE. And despite the fact that I've got the fire starting cranked up on this thing, I don't get a fire, but I am getting enough damage against his superstructure to actually end up getting the kill. Then the CVs wandered into range. There is a enemy cruiser back there. I was like, what the heck is that guy doing? I wonder if he was AFK or something back there. But then I start taking fire, and I figure my teammates are going to knock out the CV, so why don't I give this guy some love. And as you can see, I'm going to try switching to my AP because he's broadside. Did get a fire with my first salvo on the HE on this guy, so that was kind of lucky. And then, yeah, just put some AP into his broadside. And that's about it. Anyways, that was Fen Yang, Quirky ship. Can be kind of fun. Hope I'll see you in game, and be cool.